Hello guys, today we're going to do one very cool experiment and I'm going to try with the help of an AI tool to model this simple house. This is the house designed by Scape Lab from Slovenia. As you can see, it's not very complex, it's very simple shape and I'm going to use only one image. This is going to be the reference image and I'm going to try to just use one image and use AI tool called Google AI Studio. I'm sure you guys know about ChatGPT and Claude, but Google AI Studio has this really cool feature where you can share your screen and you can actually talk with it and you can also share screen at the same time. So I'm going to ask it to simply see this image and tell me how to model it in Rhino. I really don't expect this to be super advanced. I don't expect it to know all of the commands in Rhino. I'm just trying to figure out if we can learn Rhino together with this AI tool if you're complete beginners. I don't really know where this is gonna lead us, so this is all an experiment. I still don't know if we're gonna build a whole house or just parts of it, but it's really cool to see what these AI tools can do now. So how would you approach this? You just Google AI Studio. It's gonna take you to this website, and under here you need to, of course, register if you're not already, and you need to go on to Stream Real Time. Once you click Stream Real Time, you're gonna have the option to talk to Gemini and to show Gemini, which means that we can screen share and also talk with it. Here on the upper corner, you're going to see we have a Gemini 2 Flash Experimental, which is the model that uses this microphone and camera feature. And we can also share our screen. So now once I start sharing the screen, I'm going to also talk with it. And you're also going to see and hear how we interact. So this should be really fun. So now let's start. I'm going to actually close this window. I'm going to also close this one. I'm simply going to have my image open here just for the reference. And I'm going to start. So first I'm going to click on talk and then I'm going to click on share your screen. Let's start. I also put my headphones so I can actually hear it. Now let's start. Hello, Gemini.
Hi,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, let me share my screen and show you what I want to do. I'm going to share the entire screen. So you can see that I have my Rhino opened and I have an image that I want to model in Rhino. Can you see this?
Yes, I can see your screen. You have Rhino open and an image of a house. Is there anything I can help you with regarding that image or Rhino?
Yes, I'm a beginner in Rhino and I want you to teach me how to model this house. It doesn't have to be super complex. I just want to get a general shape ready.
Okay, I can help you with that. We can start with the basic shape of the house and then we can go from there. Would you like to start with a box?
Sure. How do I start with a box?
Okay, in Rhino, you can start with a box by selecting the box tool. It's in the solid menu. Then you can click in the viewport to define the starting corner of the box. Then drag the mouse to create the base of the box and click again to create the height. Once you do that, we will have a box that we can modify. You see where that is?
Yeah, but I cannot actually find it on my toolbar. Can you tell me what's the other way I can create a box?
Sure, another way to create a box is by typing the command box in the command line at the top. Then you can specify the dimensions in the command prompt. Would you like to try that?
Okay, I just typed box. Now it's asking me for the first corner. I'm going to click there and then it's going to ask me for the second corner. I'm also going to click one more time. And the last click is going to be the height. So now I have created a box. What's next?
Great job creating a box. Now that you have the basic shape, we can start modifying it to resemble the house. What would you like to modify first?
I don't know. Let's create a roof, I guess.
Okay, creating the roof is a good next step. There are a few ways to do that, but one option would be to create a new surface and then position it over the box. How would you like to do it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, one simple approach is to create a plane and then move it above the box. Would you like to do that?
Yes, let's go for it.
All right, to create a plane, you can either select the plane tool from the surface menu, or you can type plane into the command line at the top, just like with the box. After that, you click in the viewport to define the first corner, and then drag your mouse and click again to define the second corner of your plane. Which method would you like to use?
I just used the second method of typing it in the command line and I've created a surface, as you can see. Now what's the next step?
All right, now you need to move the plane upwards to position it as a roof. You can select the plane you created and use the gumball to drag it up, or you can use the move command. Which of those options you'd like to try?
Okay, so actually I positioned it already on top of the box. Like, what's the next step now?
Okay, since you already positioned the plane above the box, the next step might be to make the roof a sloped roof, like in the image you are using as reference. Would you like to work on that?
Yeah, tell me how to make this roof now with this one surface.
Okay, one way to make the roof sloped is by selecting the edges of the plane and then pulling one side up using the gumball tool. Would you like to try that?
Okay, so I'm going to pick one edge and then I'm going to drag it up. And then once I have it, as you can see here, I just did that. Like, what do I do next?
You've done well so far. Now that you've created a sloped roof, we can focus on making the roof extend past the edges of the box. Would you like to try extending the roof?
But do you see that I have only one surface here, only one side of the roof? How do I make it a whole thing?
You are correct. Currently, you only have one side of the roof. To make it a full roof, you need to mirror the roof surface you have now. Would you like to mirror the roof to create the other side?
Yes, tell me how to mirror.
Okay, to mirror the roof, you need to select the surface. Then in the command line at the top, type mirror. You will then need to select the starting point of the mirror plane by clicking in the viewport. Then you click again to set the second point of the mirror plane. The new mirrored roof should appear. Do you understand how that works?
Yes, I do, and I just did that. However, the area below the roof is completely empty. How do I make it full?
Right, the space between the roof and the box is currently empty. To make it a full structure, you'd need to close that gap by filling it with surfaces. Would you like to explore how to do that?
Yes, please tell me how to do that.
Okay, one approach to filling the gap is to create new surfaces that connect the edges of the roof to the edges of the box. You can do this by using the loft command to create a surface between two edges. Are you familiar with the loft command?
Tell me how to use it, please.
Okay, to use the loft command, you need to first select the edges. Then, in the command line, you type loft. Then the software will generate a surface connecting the edges. Would you like to try selecting one set of edges to loft?
Okay, the loft didn't work. Can we do something else?
Okay, I see the issue now. You have the outline of the roof, but it is not a surface. In Rhino, you can use the planar SRF command to create a surface from a closed curve, or a series of connected curves. Would you like me to explain this further?
Yes, please tell me how to do that.
Okay, to create a surface for the roof, you will first need to select the curves that form the roof outline. Then type planar SRF in the command line and press enter. This will create a flat surface that fills the roof area. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I just did this. But how do I make it completely full from the other side as well? Can I do some sort of extrusion?
Okay, I understand you've created a surface for one side of the roof, and you want to make it completely full by extruding it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you can use the extrude SRF command to extrude the roof surface. After selecting the roof surface, type extrude SRF in the command line and press enter. Then, specify the distance of the extrusion to fill the roof. Would you like a more detailed explanation of the extrude SRF command?
No, that was enough. I actually created this. Now, what's my next step?
Great, I see you have created the extrusion and the roof is now complete. What would you like to do next?
How do we make these horizontal boards on the facade of the house?
Okay, you're now asking how to create the horizontal boards on the facade of the house. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, there are a few ways to achieve this. You could create a single board and then array it using the array command, or create each board individually using the box command and then position them on the surface. Do you have a preference?
Let's go with the box option.
Okay, let's proceed with the box option. First, you'll use the box command to create a single board. Then you'll position and copy it along the facade of the house. Do you need a step-by-step explanation of how to use the box command?
I know how to use the box command, but now it's only allowing me to make it vertical instead of horizontal. How do I rotate it?
Okay, it looks like the box you created is oriented vertically instead of horizontally. To rotate the box, you can select it and then use the rotate command in Rhino. After selecting the command, you'll need to define the center of rotation and then specify the rotation angle. Do you want me to explain this further?
Isn't there some easier way to do this with the gumball?
Yes, you're right. The gumball is a much easier way to rotate objects in Rhino. When you select an object, the gumball appears, and you can use the rotation handles to rotate the object freely. Do you need further explanation about using the gumball?
Yes, please tell me how to rotate it 90 degrees. I already selected the object and I can see the gumball, but how do I rotate it?
Okay, I understand. To rotate the object 90 degrees using the gumball, click on the rotation handle, which is the curved arc on the gumball, and then type 90 and press enter. The object will then rotate exactly 90 degrees. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but which one? There are three of them. The green one, the blue one, and the red one. Which do I pick?
You will want to select the blue arc handle on the gumball to rotate the object around the z-axis.
I think that's wrong. I think we need to use the red one.
You are absolutely right. My apologies. You should use the red arc to rotate the object 90 degrees in that direction.
All right, what's next? I just rotated it.
Okay, I see that you've rotated the board. Now you can position it on the facade of the house and then copy it to create additional boards. Do you need help with positioning or copying the board?
First, tell me how to position it.
Okay, to position the board, you can use the gumball to move it along the X, Y, and Z axes. You can also use the move command in Rhino, which lets you specify a starting point and ending point for the object's movement. Would you like me to provide a more detailed explanation of how to position it with the gumball?
Just tell me how to use it, how to move it with the move tool.
Okay, to use the move tool, first select the board. Then type move in the command line and press enter. Next, click on the point on the board that you want to use as a reference for moving. Finally, click on the point where you want to move that reference point to. Does that make sense?
Yes, I've actually done it. Now I need to just scale it. So the board needs to be scaled down. Is there a way I can do that?
Yes. To scale the board down, you can use the scale command in Rhino, or you can use the gumball handles to scale the object. Would you like me to explain how to use the scale command or how to scale it with the gumball?
Yeah, but I want to scale it only on one axis. How do I do that?
Sure, I can help you with that. Based on what I see in the video, it looks like you have selected the board and now need to scale it. In Rhino, you can do this by using the scale tool and specifying a scale factor, or by using the gumball manipulators to adjust the size interactively. Do you know how you want to scale it, or do you need more information about how to use the scale tool?
Yeah, so I just want to scale it on one axis. Is there a specific command for that?
Yes, there is a specific command for that. In Rhino, you can use the scale 1D command to scale an object along a single axis. After you select the objects to scale and run the command, you'll have to specify the base point and the scale factor in the desired direction. Would you like me to elaborate further?
No need, I already started. I selected it and I moved the board like this. That helps me. Now I'm going to scale this on the other direction as well. And now I want you to tell me, how do I distribute these boards on top of the facade?
Okay, I understand that you've moved and scaled the first board, and now you'd like to know how to distribute additional boards on top of the facade of the house model. In Rhino, you could use the array command or the copy command to create multiple copies of the board and distribute them across the facade. Would you like more details about how to use these commands?
Just tell me how to use the copy command.
Okay, to use the copy command in Rhino, you first need to select the object you want to copy, in your case, the board. After that, type copy or CP into the command line and hit enter. Then, specify a base point for the copy. Finally, indicate where you want to place the copy, either by clicking or entering coordinates. Do you need additional information on this process?
No, that's fine, but how do I copy it multiple times?
To copy an object multiple times in Rhino, you can use the array command. This will allow you to specify the number of copies and how they should be arranged. Would you like me to explain how to use the array command?
Okay, no need. I'm going to manually copy it, and that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need further assistance.
Okay, I have a question. So right now I have the board set up, but I want to extend the house. I think the proportions are a little bit off. How do I extend the whole house to the right side of my screen?
Okay, I understand. You want to extend the entire house model to the right side of the screen. In Rhino, you can do this by using the scale command with a base point located on the left side of your model and then scaling along the x-axis. Would you like me to walk you through the steps?
I think I need to scale on one axis only, right? Should I use scale 1D or scale in general?
Yes, you're correct. To scale the entire house model along one axis, you should use the scale 1D command. This command allows you to specify a base point and a direction for scaling, which is exactly what you need to do to extend the house to the right. Do you need more assistance with this?
Okay, I'm done with this one. Now I want you to tell me, how do I create these vertical boards in the house?
Okay, I understand that you want to create the vertical boards on the house's facade, like in the reference picture. You can do this in Rhino by creating one vertical board with the desired thickness and then using the array command to copy the board multiple times along the face of the house. Do you want me to walk you through how to use the array command?
Why are you so interested in using the array command? Let's just use the normal copy. Just walk me through step by step how to create this.
Okay, I understand that you prefer to use the normal copy command instead of the array command to create the vertical boards on the house. To do that, first, create one vertical board with the desired thickness and position it correctly. Then, select the board and type copy, or CP, into the command line and hit enter. After this, specify a base point and then click where you want the first copy to be placed. Repeat this process until the wall is filled with the desired number of boards. Do you have any questions on this process?
So I just want to ask you, do I also just create a box, like a regular box, and I use that to copy it, the whole facade, or I do something else?
Okay, I see your question. You're wondering if you can create a box and then copy it to cover the entire facade instead of creating the vertical boards individually, and the answer is yes. You can create a box that is sized to cover the entire facade, and then use the copy command as you mentioned. However, this method would create a solid wall instead of the vertical slats shown in the image you have. So, you could use the copy command with the small boards you already created, or use the method of creating a single box and copying that as a large panel, depending on what you wish to achieve. Is there anything else you need?
Okay, I think I got this. I just created one single box, and then I made this box like one small side of that window or a frame. Now I want to create the frame that is like horizontal. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees like we used to do before. I'm going to move it here and I'm going to then use scale 1D. This is all of the tools that we used so far. So I'm going to use scale 1D here and I'm going to copy this all the way down. Now, how do I make sure that I connect the horizontal boards with these vertical ones? Is there a command to connect them?
You can use the Boolean union command. Would you like to know how to apply it?
Yes, please tell me.
Okay, first, select all the boards you want to fuse. Then, type Boolean union in the command bar and press enter. This will fuse the selected objects into a single object. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It actually worked.
Great, I'm glad that worked for you. Is there anything else I can help with regarding your modeling in Rhino?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, how do I create these boards now on top of the roof? Can I simply take these vertical boards and somehow copy them on the roof?
I understand. You are wondering how to create the boards on top of the roof in your model, and if you can simply copy the vertical boards. Yes, you can use the vertical boards as a reference. Would you like me to tell you how to proceed?
I would like to move them to the position of the roof and simply scale them. Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible to move and scale the vertical boards to the roof position. First, select the boards, then use the move command to position them on the roof. After, use the scale command to resize them as needed. Would you like me to go into more detail about how to use these commands?
Yeah, but if I use move command, I'm going to move it from this existing position, and that's not what I want to do. I want to make a copy and then position it properly on the roof.
Okay, I see you want to copy the boards instead of moving them. For that, you can use the copy command and then position them on the roof using the move command after. Would you like me to elaborate further on how to do that?
Yes, please do.
Okay, first select the boards you want to copy. Then type copy in the command bar and press enter. Now, click on a point from where you would like to start copying the selected boards. After that, move your cursor to the location on the roof where you want the copy to be. Finally, click to place the new boards on the roof. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, but now how do I rotate it so that it aligns with the roof?
All right, to rotate the boards and align them with the roof, you can use the rotate command. Would you like me to explain how to use it?
Yes, please do.
Okay, first select the copied boards. Then, type rotate in the command bar and press enter. After, click on a point on the roof that you would like to rotate around. Next, move your cursor to adjust the rotation angle. And finally, click to set the new rotation angle to align with the roof. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear, but this is not the rotation axis that I want to use. Maybe I should use some other command for rotation where I can specify the rotation axis.
You're right, the default rotation may not be ideal for your use case. You can use the rotate 3D command to specify a custom rotation axis. Would you like me to walk you through the steps on how to use it?
Yes, please tell me.
Okay, first, select the boards you want to rotate. Then type rotate 3D in the command bar and press enter. Now you will need to specify the start and end points for the rotation axis. Click the point you want to be the start of the axis, and then click where you want the axis to end. Lastly, adjust the rotation and click to set the rotation. Is that understandable?
Yes, it is. I think I got it, as you can see. However, is there a command I can use to just move this bottom part to align to the bottom of the roof?
Yes, to align the bottom of the boards with the roof, you can use the move command along with object snaps. Would you like to know how to do that?
I don't think that's the best tool. I need to specify some points first and then move them. How do I specify the points in this case?
I understand you need to specify points for a more precise movement. You can use the gumball or the object snaps tools to specify points when moving objects. Would you like me to explain how to use either or both of them?
Yeah, I don't think that will work. How about some sort of point selection tool? Is there something like this in Rhino for 3D objects?
Yes, there is a control point selection tool that you can use to select specific points on 3D objects in Rhino. Would you like to know how to use it?
What's the name of the command?
Okay, one way to do this is by using the point command. This command will allow you to pick a specific point on an object, including the 3D points of the object's geometry. Would you like me to explain how to use that command?
I don't think the point command actually allows me to select the existing points of the geometry. Point command is simply creating new points.
Understood. The point command does create new points, and you are looking to select existing ones. In that case, you can use the control points command. This command will allow you to select the existing control points that define your object's geometry. Would you like to know more about how to use the control points command?
Yeah, what is the command name?
The command name is control points, but you can also type points on to turn them on or points off to turn them off. Would you like me to go over how to use the command?
So I just tried points on, but it tells me that it doesn't work on poly surfaces. What do I do next?
Okay, the points on command will not work on poly surfaces. To select control points on a poly surface, you must first explode the poly surface into its individual surfaces using the explode command. Would you like more information on this command?
Yeah, but I think this is a destructive process. Why not just use solid points on command?
You're right, exploding the poly surface is a destructive process. It appears you are trying to use the solid point command, but there is not a command called that in Rhino. You can select the control points of a poly surface using the solid piton command. Would you like me to tell you more about this command?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, the solid piton command will allow you to select the control points of a poly surface without exploding it. Once you activate the command, you can click on the poly surface and the control points will become visible for editing. Do you have any other questions about this command?
No, that's it. Now I selected the points and I'm going to move them to the existing position, just like this.
Great, it seems that the solid piton command did the trick. Is there anything else I can help with?
No, that would be all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need any more help.
Okay, guys, so that was it. This was a fun experiment. I didn't expect that we would get even this far. So as you can see, this obviously helped us. I still don't think that it's gonna take over the modeling world. There's still a lot of a small emphasis on when to use these commands. As you can see, we had some instances where it knew exactly which commands to use. And then in some instances, I had to tell it which commands exist so it can actually use it. I don't think the AI still has the modeling context of which tools are the best in which situations. And it can still not see what you're working with if you are working with poly surfaces or surfaces, which is something that's probably gonna change in the future. I'm actually quite excited about the developments of all of these tools. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this approach? Have you tried using Google AI Studio for this? And yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys created and if you had any success in modeling something in Rhino with this tool. And before we wrap this video up, I wanted to share one really interesting event that we're going to have at How to Rhino Premium Group this February. This is a workshop called Computing Things with Grasshopper. And it's going to happen on February 15th and February 16th. It's going to be the workshop on Grasshopper, generating, clustering, and automating geometric forms. It's going to be led by Omar Kadura, who is a senior designer at Zaha Hadid Architects. You're going to be able to see some of his work here. And for only $25 a month, it's going to be available through February. Here on this image, you can see all of these other workshops that we had in the previous months. And if you join Rhino Premium as an annual option, you can get access to all of them at once. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to go to the link in the description and I'm going to see you there. However, I just wanted to warn you that we have only 40 spots left for the price of $25. After that, the price is going to increase. So if you're interested, make sure to go ahead and join us. Take care.